Multiple Indicator Cluster Surveys is a household survey program developed by UNICEF to assist countries in monitoring the situation of children and women. MICS. MICS covers a wide range of thematic areas: child survival and health, nutrition, education, child development, HIV/AIDS, and child protection, measuring a variety of key indicators and producing an integrated data set. The surveys are implemented by governments. Data are collected from nationally representative samples of households in face-to-face interviews. Survey results can be disaggregated to assess social, economic, and geographic disparities.
Since the MICS surveys were first developed in 1995, around 200 surveys have been conducted in 100 developing countries.
The fourth round of MICS was launched in 2009, and more than 40 countries are expected to participate.
The MICS surveys evolved really from being a relatively simple tool for monitoring progress towards the World Summit for Children goals and targets to becoming one of the most important sources of data for tracking progress towards the Millennium Development Goals, as well as other major international commitments for improving the lives of women and children worldwide. UNICEF works with a range of different interagency monitoring groups and others, like the USAID-supported demographic and health surveys, to harmonize and develop methodologies that we use to collect data on priority indicators.
The success of MICS depends on the full commitment and broad involvement of various sectors of governments, as well as on a careful adaptation of the MICS methodology. Governments drive the demand for data by investing time and resources in collecting information. MICS surveys are typically carried out by national statistics offices. UNICEF provides technical assistance and training in the process. Funding is provided by UNICEF, its partners in development, and governments. National oversight for the implementation of MICS is to be provided by a steering committee composed of in-country stakeholders. Their participation promotes acceptance and utilization of the findings, and therefore national ownership. In Cuba, MICS will be implemented for the fourth time.
MICS
is already an important part of the production of statistical information in Cuba. As I mentioned, it's helped strengthen survey implementation, and this powerful tool is key in our data collection system.
Y ya forma parte de nuestro aparato productor de información.
Implementing MICS successfully in the field involves a number of well-choreographed steps. The MICS manual describes these steps, reflecting best practices of survey implementation, current standard procedures and methodologies developed in concert with technical experts, interagency groups, and program specialists. These tools range from questionnaire design and sample selection to guidance on how to conduct fieldwork and even test for salt iodization. At the regional level, UNICEF convenes survey managers, technical experts, and UNICEF staff from countries participating in MICS for a series of 3 workshops. At these workshops, held at key stages throughout the course of the survey, participants learn about MICS methodology and procedures. The first workshop deals with the planning, design, and execution of a MICS survey. Country sampling statisticians learn about the MICS sampling approach, a stratified 2-stage sample of clusters and households using probability techniques at each stage of the selection. This method conforms to scientific norms for proper sampling. There are 3 MICS questionnaires, one for household, another for individual women, and one about children under 5.
MICS istraživanje kao jelovnik.
MICS is like a restaurant menu. You have a lot of choices on the menu. The challenge is to choose the right one. If you stick to the guidelines in the MICS manual, you'll learn how to select modules which are relevant to your national data needs.
Например,
For example, one of the things which made MIX relevant in Serbia is a survey on the representative sample of Roma children. The survey helped us to develop a national strategy on the health, nutrition, and education of Serbia's Roma children.
obrazovanju romske djece.
The customized questionnaires are translated into local languages, back-translated, and then checked again to ensure that the questions remain faithful to the original intended meaning. The questionnaires are then pre-tested in the field to evaluate the quality of the translation and customization, identify unanticipated interpretations, and assess the need for new response categories.
During data processing workshop, survey teams use their customized questionnaires to adapt CS Pro data entry application and to customize model SPSS tabulation syntax.
Applying the procedures described in the MIX manual and outlined at the survey design workshop, the implementing agency organizes training of fieldwork staff in data collection. This includes classroom instruction, role play, and hands-on practice sessions in anthropometric measurement. The MIX manual recommends a 3-week instruction period to ensure adequate and rigorous training, resulting in better qualified field workers, leading to better data quality. Each data collection team consists of a supervisor, an editor, a measurer, and 3 or 4 interviewers. Measurers in particular receive intense training on height and weight measurement techniques. Once formed, these teams crisscross the country interviewing household members, measuring children's height and weight, testing salt for iodine, and recording cluster locations using GPS devices.
Data collection in MIX is executed by fieldwork teams, meaning that you have a team of people, each responsible for different aspects of the data collection. You have the interviewers, who are responsible for interviewing the household members, obviously, but you also have the measurers, who work together with the interviewers, who identify the children in the households. They come into the households and they measure the weights and the heights of the children. In addition to these, you have the editors, the fieldwork editors, who are responsible for checking the internal consistency of the questionnaires, looking at data quality. Plus, you have the supervisors who take the overall responsibility of the team. They are responsible for data quality, but they are also responsible for logistics, how the team moves from one cluster to the other to complete the data collection.
Once field edited, the completed questionnaires are sent for data entry. Structure checks, verification through double data entry, and secondary editing should be performed systematically in accordance with MIX guidelines. Soon after completion of fieldwork and data entry, data processing teams create data analysis files using SPSS software provided by UNICEF. They calculate and add the wealth index, GPS readings, and apply the sample weights, and then produce over 100 standard MIX tables. At this point, the implementing agency can start preparing the survey report. At the third workshop, countries put the final touches to their survey report and dissemination plan. They learn to use the International Household Survey Network Microdata Management Toolkit to archive the microdata sets and survey-related documents, ensuring a reliable record for future reference and to facilitate further analysis. All MIX-related resources can be found on www.childinfo.org. Throughout every stage of a MIX survey, UNICEF provides technical assistance, both in-country or via email or phone, to review and give feedback on survey procedures and content. Participating in MIX provides new knowledge that can help countries carry out other similar data collection initiatives.
One of the advantages of MIX is that it enhances the capacity of statistics officers to carry out similar surveys for different purposes. For example, in Cuba, we've used the best MIX practices to gather and process data to carry out other studies, such as a national survey about accident rates among minors under 20.
Para hacer otras encuestas como la encuesta nacional de accidentes en menores de 20 años.
MIX provides the evidence that helps governments develop effective strategies to implement policies and programs that improve people's lives. MIX is a critically important data source to measure progress towards commitments the world has made to children and women. MIX is also central to UNICEF's advocacy efforts to promote children's rights, as envisioned in the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and to position children squarely at the center of the world's development agenda. MIX. Unite for Children.